Hey there, how's it going, beloved? Uh, this is Diamond, Coach D. However, you know me, a lot of people know me different ways. Saba Diamond. And so I'm doing another update to my situation with, fasting, the hypertension, things like that. So I want to give you a full layout. As you know, I put out a video the other day, and yesterday, in fact. In fact, I want to thank everybody for, being so encouraging and giving me so many words of wisdom and guidance and things like that. That's normally what I'm doing for other people, and it's real humbling to, have to sit down and actually, you know, be guided by others. But that's why we're here. We're here to help one another. It's what reciprocity is, which is one of the principles I live by. And so I want to thank all of you who have gotten on my posts, gave me comments, gave me likes and loves and hugs and so forth. I really appreciate that. So and since you've expressed that you really want to know this, and some of you have reached out to me personally by text on my phone and by direct messaging on the Facebook app. And letting me know that you have significant others or somebody in your family going through the same thing. That's a man. Now the thing about it is, us men that are over 50, the body shifts. It changes over once we get over 50. In fact, on his way, it's got many shifts that we're going through. So we have, of course, decreased metabolic rate, and we're dealing with also the decreasing of our sex hormone, which is testosterone. That's also decreasing. And so that means our bodies are not going to respond to things as it used to. Even mine, me being an athlete, even though I've been pretty much clean all of my life, never did drugs, never drunk alcohol, never smoked cigarettes, never did any of that. And pretty much ate healthy meals. I never had any sugar addictions or anything like that. None. So ate pretty healthy. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't have a hot dog or two or slices of pizza and things like that. Yes, I did. But they were not the norm. I knew how to go back to vegetables. And for the most part, I cook at home. And I've been doing this pretty much all my life, except when I was in college, of course. That was, but if you ever been to college, you know how the college life is. So it's kind of hard. Okay. But even at that time, it was mostly fried chicken from several places. But anyway, I wanted to share with you today, my stats from yesterday. And, yesterday I also went to do a workout, and I want to give you the stats from that workout. And I also want to let you in on how I assess and track my progress, how I assess and track my performance and my the health of my body and everything. I'm going to just be vulnerable with you. I'm going to let you know a lot of personal information today. So I hope you appreciate this. But I know if it's going to be helping other people, I would gladly do it. Just lay myself bare, and I'll happily do it. Now, as most of you know, that I am a professional as far as a fitness and health professional and a nutritionist as well. And I've helped thousands of people over the last almost 30 years. So since 1996, I've been a certified personal trainer, and I've been got a degree in nutritional science, exercise physiology, and so forth. But all of that is just knowledge. And as you notice, that even doctors have the lowest life expectancy. They have one of the lowest life expectancies. They know things, but knowledge doesn't give you a leg up as far as making progress. It's only the application. That's why even on social media we have people who are just regular people who start on their journey, and they start doing their own research, and those people make tremendous progress, and they do so well. My heart just really goes out every time I see something like that. And so I want to make sure that you can relate to me as well, that even us professionals, we go through things. All right. And at this point, what you're witnessing is an expert having to take his own medicine. All right. So yes, I'm dealing with hypertension, and my blood pressure is still elevated, but I feel okay. I feel fine. My diet, I've done everything I can do as far as diet goes. So now what I'm doing is allowing my body to finally detox from caffeine intake. And let me tell you when this stuff really started. When I really first started noticing this. I got one here because I didn't finish all of it. But this right here, and I don't mean to blast, this company, but Celsius, which is in these drinks they're delicious. But it's when I start drinking these that I started really having some issues. And it wasn't necessarily the fit, but it was the heat version, because it has more caffeine. It was giving you about the maximum dose of caffeine that you can have, which is 400 milligrams a day, right? In that can was 400 milligrams, and I was taking that on top of every now and then. I found myself sometimes slipping because I would go and have that Celsius, and then I would have some green tea, really, really taking myself over. And so, as you know, caffeine, it raises your blood pressure, and it gets to a point. And if you do your research on the heat, why the heat version of Celsius has been taken off the shelves, do your research on that so you'll know for yourself what was going on. But people were having problems. So now all they got left is the fit. But this is one of the cans I have left over because and I haven't had any in a couple of weeks, and so I'm not going to have any more of this. I'm not going to have, and this one's still open. I mean, it's still closed, as you can see. It's not even open yet. It's still dripping because I got it out of the refrigerator. But I'm not even going to have my green tea. My green tea, I'm going to have to give that up for right now. So all caffeine is gone. All meat is gone. So I'm literally just on a vegetarian diet. And I say vegetarian because I'm still having egg whites. I'm still having egg whites for my protein, because I like going to the gym. I like breaking down muscle, and I have to build muscle back up. So a readily available source, a good source of protein is so necessary. And I know everybody, well, you can get that from vegetables. I know that. Yes, you can. All right. I don't eat that much though. So in order to really get it from vegetables, to get enough protein from vegetables, you got to eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of them, especially, and then a lot of variety in order to get the combination of amino acids that you need to rebuild muscle. So you have to do that. I don't eat that much. Right now, I'm literally down to about one meal a day. One meal a day. And I'm not recommending that for everybody, but that's just where I am for right now. As you all know, I just came off of a fast, a 92 and a half hour fast. I intended just to do 72 hours, but I ended up doing 92 and a half hours of just water. And once a day, I had a fresh juice drink that I actually went and bought beets and carrots and apples and celery and ginger, all of that, juiced it, and that's what I drank, once a day. And that was it. That's all I had. I had no food for that whole time. So the thing is, I just came off that, and I've been really reluctant because I have no cravings. I don't really have an appetite necessarily, and my mind is clear. I don't have mental fog or anything like that, which is something I suffer from greatly. That's why I was doing caffeine. It wasn't just for my pre-workouts, but it was because of the mental fog, which still went back to lack of sleep and lack of quality sleep. I was getting sleep, but my sleep wasn't quality. And there was also, still a diet that had some processed foods in it, some probably a little bit more that than I needed. And I'm not saying snacks, but I'm talking about stuff like, fried chicken, fried fish, and even like pastas, spaghetti and things like that. I was eating pretty good, with a bunch of those sauces in it. The what do you call it, the primavera sauce and the Alfredo sauces and the marinara sauces and all that kind of stuff. You understand all that's processed foods, right? You understand that. And so, but anyway, all of that, see, my body has always been able to tolerate that. And but now that I'm over that hump, I'm half of a centenarian now. So that my body's saying, hey, no, we got to do better than that. And so, and the good thing is I have the willpower to do better because I never got addicted to anything. I don't have a food addiction. I have some favorite foods. And they're not necessarily healthy foods. Of course, none of our favorite foods are healthy foods, but mine is banana pudding. If you know me, you know that's true. So anyway, so now I'm coming, I'm at the point now to where I'm dealing with this high blood pressure. Now, this is just one. Caffeine is just one of the suspects in my hypertension. The other suspect is genetics, because my mother dealt with high blood pressure, as I had mentioned before. She dealt with that on a chronic level as well. She was taking medication and things, and she actually passed away in 2011 of a massive heart attack, and which is what these things lead to. And that was because, and all it took was one bit of stress, enough stress, and she had gotten some bad news right before all that happened. She had gotten some bad news, and boom, then it happened, and so I had to leave. I was staying in Long Beach, California. I had just moved to Long Beach a few months before that happened, and then I had to fly to Texas to go and see her off, of course. And so just understand that the woman's mitochondrial DNA, whatever she's dealing with, it is going to be passed down through her mitochondrial DNA to her offspring. Okay, so the conditions that the woman is facing will indeed. So you have to be careful. Being a woman, it is so important that you lead a healthy, stress-free life, because we're talking about the genetic mutations. That first starts off as epigenetics. Okay. The epigenetic factors that are placed in our lives. Women actually have a whole lot of them, because you guys are always responding to things from an emotional standpoint, a mental standpoint, and so forth. And these epigenetic factors, and I'll be doing a whole presentation on that so I can make you understand what that is. But these factors actually attach to histone tails in the DNA, okay, in the DNA coils, and they can dictate what gene codes or what DNA codes can be turned on and turned off. So if there's stress epigenetic factors, they're going to turn off other access to other codes, DNA codes. All right. And so you have to be very careful about stressing and things like that. And men, let's help them out by not stressing them out. Okay. By not stressing them out. So the thing is that, my mother, she was dealing with that. My grandmother, in fact, it's so ironic because my grandmother died at 56, at the age of 56, and so did my mother. She died at the age of 56. And I'm 51 now, but I feel good. And I did have my blood work done on Monday. When I had some blood work done, had some labs done, and I got the results back. Everything came back splendidly. I am healthy. My PSA, which is my prostate exam, that was perfect. The levels were perfect. My magnesium levels were perfect. Potassium, sodium, everything was in level. Even my total cholesterol was still good. It's at good levels. Although my LDL, and this is where also another culprit comes in, my LDL, which is the low density lipoprotein. So when we talk about lipoproteins, that's fat molecules. or fatty acids that actually contribute to the density of cholesterol. Okay, so that my LDL cholesterol was a bit elevated by 27 points. It was 127, and it should be no more than 100. You want that under 100. Mine was 127. However, my HDL, which is high density lipoprotein, that's the good cholesterol, that was at 42, and you want that to be more than 39. Okay, you want that to be more than 39. So that was actually good. So, but then my ratio, my HDL factor, was also a little bit out, because normally the HDL can actually help lower the LDL if there's enough of it, but the ratio was off, so that makes my HDL ratio factor off just a little bit. So he was only like half a point, but that was all good. But everything else was on point. Everything else was on point. I'm within limits. So it's just proof that my taking care of myself have really paid off. And so this is why I'm encouraging all men 50 and over. In fact, if you're approaching 50, go get your checkups done. And I know us as black men, we tend to wait. We tend to wait. We feel like we can shake things off, and go get them done. This is the first time I've had tests in really since really in my entire adulthood. So I'm guilty of it as well. I'm guilty of it. I've never had health insurance because I've always worked for myself for the most part. But I've always done health assurance. Health assurance is just making sure that you're leading a healthy lifestyle of at least 51 or more percent of the time. All right. So your healthy habits has got to dominate those unhealthy habits. So anyway, I want to share with you real quick, because I don't want to make this too long. It's already too long. But anyway, just bear with me a little bit. I want to show you guys first some of what I was going through yesterday. Now, my blood pressure yesterday was I believe it was 156 over 96 96. And so I want to show you yesterday, because I did a scan on myself. I took my body composition and weighed myself and everything, and I weighed in at 206 pounds. So let me show you real quick. I'm going to show you some screenshots from from my software that I use for this particular thing. All right. So here, what you're looking at is, you know what? I should have thought about this. I should have thought about making this to where I can see it actually. Okay. So what we're looking at here is what my results were after I did my scan. Okay. And as you can see, that blue area there, that's my water. So that circle is everything that makes up my total body weight, which is 206.6 yesterday. And so a percentage of it came from water, which is the blue area. The red area is my fat-free mass. That's my muscle, bones, and organs. And then the yellow area there is the essential fat, or that's fat. So sometimes there's a little slightly darker yellow area, and that's going to be excess fat. So here I have no excess fat. I have all essential fat. And so what we're looking at here, in fact, let me try to pull this up so I can actually see a little bit, so I can see it better. Okay, so what we're looking at here is so the water, estimated water right there was it makes up 121.4 pounds of my 206 pound total body weight. All right, so we're mostly water. However, it's at 58. It makes up 58% of my body weight. And so the problem with that is that if you're men, if we're under 65% water, we're dehydrated. So there's slight dehydration right there. And women, if you're under 60, you're dehydrated. All right. And then the fat-free mass in the red, that's 44.9 pounds. So it makes up 21% of my 206-pound weight. And then the essential fat is 40.3 pounds and is 19.5%. So I am 19.5% body fat. All right. So from that standard, let's see, let's go to this next one. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. He'll stay here. So, so that body fat is so at 19.5% body fat. As you can see, if you look at that yellow arrow right there on that green and red line that's going over that circle, you can see that it's almost in the red. So, for myself, for a healthy range for a 51-year-old is that's going to be up, you can be up to 22, anywhere between 5 to 22%, and before you consider to be over fat or overweight. All right, so I'm still within that range, but my personal desire is for me to be 10% or less, like I used to be. Okay, let you know, I used to maintain a 7.5% body fat percentage, for quite a while, most of my life. And only lately, and I can say really, everybody know, we all gained some weight during COVID. And I know I'm still dealing with a lot of that as well. So they shut down the gyms. I couldn't even go to the beach and work out. They shut down the parks, the gyms, everything. And my little studio apartment in Long Beach wasn't going to allow me to really get my workout in like I wanted to. So I just did some running, but I did mostly a lot of eating. I really did at that time. And so I want to be under 10% body fat. All right. So for the most part, so this is and I recommend recommend everybody go and go somewhere to get this done. Now I have a device, I have an ultrasound device that scans my body, because like I say, I'm a professional, so I had to have it. And that's what I use to assess my clients. And so I use it. I can use it on myself. It wasn't done with calipers. This was done with an ultrasound device that can actually see from your skin all the way down to your bone and read everything in between. So it's accurate. Now you may find something like a DEXA scan, DEXA, DEXA scan that can actually do the same thing and give you a full readout as well. And those, they're different prices, but I recommend everybody go and look that up and see if there are some of that available in your area, in your city and in state and city. All right. And so now let's look at this this other one. I want to show you guys here. So what we're looking at here, if you can see over to the left, towards the left of that graph, the red line that you see is going all over the place. That's my body fat percentage, and that blue line is my total weight. Okay, and so that and then the dots on there is going to be the dates where I actually did the assessment, and all the lines are connecting the dots. And so as you can see, if you look at the dates, you see down in back in 2023 is when it starts, all the way until yesterday, going to the right, all the way until yesterday. So those last dots over to the right is going to be my measurements that I took. So as you can see, it's been a long time between when I last did this with this software to now. A lot's happened in that time, from 2021 all the way to now, 2023 all the way to now. I've moved different states and cities and stuff like that, and but mainly what I want you to see is just how a lot of times the body, even though the body weight maintains. So if you look at there over to the left, those last two dots, where you could see that the second to the last dot, you will see that my body weight is one way, but my body fat is higher. But see, well, remember that it doesn't mean that you have, that's just a percentage. So the percentage is going to be a high percentage, right? So then as my body, even though my body weight stayed the same, going to that last dot over to the left, you see how my body fat percentage dropped, even though my body weight stayed the same. Okay, my body fat percentage dropped. That can definitely happen. At that point, I can tell you that I really was into working out. I was densifying muscle and things like that. So my body weight kind of maintained, but at the same time, I was dropping body fat. So this, and I'm saying this to say, don't worry about what you see on the scale. The scale doesn't tell you what you really want to know. We step on the scale to see how fat we are. The scale doesn't tell you how fat you are. The scale gives you that circle that you just saw. That's what the scale gives you. That complete circle. It tells you how much water, how much fat-free mass, and how much fat. It doesn't tell you how fat you are. All right. So this is why it's important to have your body composition done, to break this stuff down. All right. And then now you can see all the time that passed, and I get all the way over. My weight goes up. Even though my weight goes down, but my body fat percentage goes up. Okay. So by the time and that's some years, that's about a year and something that passed. And right when I got, so now what we're looking at here is, the start of something. So my body fat percentage is back up to close to 20%. And my body weight, though, is down lower than what it was even back then, when it was, a year ago and some and further years ago. I'm at the lowest body weight I've been in since 2021. All right. I'm at the lowest body weight at that point. So now, so I got a good baseline. So now the goal, and the trend is always the body weight goes down, and that makes the body fat look like it's going up, but it's not. You're not gaining body fat. It's just, it's becoming a higher percentage of your body weight. That's all that is. So I'm dropping water. There might be a little bit of muscle atrophy that's going on, but that's going to make the body fat percentage go. So it's making up a higher percentage of my weight. Now, as I show you guys in the future, the tests that are coming up, the assessments that are coming up, you'll end up seeing the body fat again drop down below my body weight. You'll get to see that as well. So I'll keep you updated on that. All right. So now let's see what I want to show you guys next. I know what I want to show you. All right, so looking at the next image here, here's another thing that's of major concern, and I really want to blow this up because I want to be able to see this too. Let me see something. Hold on, bear with me just a second. I want to get this. Okay, I can. No, that doesn't show it. Where is my? Hold on, guys. I'm working with some new technology here, so I'm trying to get this stuff right. It's my first time doing it like this too on this type of platform. All right, here we go. No, that ain't it. Let me try it right here. All right, here we go, guys. So what we're looking at the weight, the shoulder to waist ratio, shoulder height to height ratio, and the shoulder to hip ratio. And what you're looking at over there to the left are my circumference measurements. And for the most part, I'm cool with everything except the waist. And as you can see, my waist is 37 inches. And a lot of times, it could be because of maybe I was slightly bloated. Who knows? But either way it goes, it should never be that big. I don't have a fat stomach or anything like that. Most of that's coming from not just the belly fat in the front, but also the back. So this is what we call the spare tire. So that measurement was taken right over my navel with a measuring tape, right over my navel, straight all the way around to the back. The full circumference of my body there. And so that's going to include the flanks, a little lower back fat as well. All of that's going to include all of that. And so I have to reduce that, reduce all of that as well. And where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So I have to reduce all of that as well. And so, and you see my hips are at 40. Now the hips is going to go right across the biggest part of the butt. So it's 40.75. So my hip to waist ratio, me being a guy, it's not like we're looking for curves or whatever, but I'm kind of a curvy guy. As you can see that. So for the most part, I can lose a little bit of inches in the hips and the waist. My waist generally, in my younger years, not too long ago, in my 30s and early 40s, was sitting at around 32 or less, 32 inches or less. So I got some inches I'm gonna remove off there. But also, if you look at the thigh and the bicep may not go too many places because I don't have a lot of body fat or adipose tissue on my arms. So the chest might go down a little bit. It's at 41 now. It might go down another inch or so. And an inch is a lot. If you lose an inch over your circumference, that's losing a lot. And then we have the, let's see, the shoulders. The shoulders may also not go too far. They might go down to about 45. I might lose a couple of inches on that. And as far as my neck goes, I might lose about a quarter of an inch. So it might go, because I have a 16-inch neck. That's just how it is. So the extra 0.25 is just a little extra I'm holding on to. And so anyway, so these, and I told you I was gonna get vulnerable. But if you look at those charts, that scale at the above each one of those. Look at the waist to hip ratio. As you can see, I'm in the yellow there at 0.92. The goal is to be less than 0.9. So between 0.85 and 0.9, that's where I want to be. Now, how do I get there? In fact, and to move all these, the points on all of these, because I got to get to the green. We want to get to the green on all of these. So in all these has a height to waist ratio, shoulder to waist ratio, and a waist to hip ratio. So this is waist specific. So my waist is too big. Okay, so as I lose inches in my waist, these will move towards the green. Okay, now I can tell you it is very dangerous to have a waist that's over 36 inches. It's very dangerous. So I'm in the danger zone as far as that goes. All right. And as you can see over the time you're looking at too, if you look at the line graph there, over time that you've seen those things go up and down. And at one point I was probably way worse. Was that around looks like around August of 2023, August something of 2023. Which I was here, I had just been here for almost a month. I had been here in North Carolina for almost a month at that time. So, but I'm better now than I was then. That's a good thing because I have done some work since then. And as you can see, I've done a few measurements since then, on this. All right. So basically, that's what we're looking at. These are also health indicators. Okay, these are health indicators as well. All right, so now let's look at let me see what my other chart here is going to be. Okay, so let's go here. Oh yeah. So now I want to talk about what I did with my workout. So the first thing I always do, and this was me yesterday in the gym, first thing I always do is release tight muscles with foam rolling. All right. So this is me rolling out my soleus, my peroneals, and calf muscles, and so I do that with a foam roller. I like those with the foam on the outside and the PVC pipe on the inside. All right, and I always carry my own stuff to the gym. I always carry your own stuff to the gym if you can. So go and buy those if you don't have them. And here you see me. Another thing that I do is I do some yoga to loosen up the joints more, and also get into a stretch, kind of like ballistic stretching. But this is real good. You want to always do something to loosen up the torso, the transverse abdominal. All right. So that's what I'm doing here, and I do that on both sides as well. And then of course, downward dog is going to give me a good lower back stretch, hamstring stretch, calf stretch, and also stretching the shoulders. All right, and here, and so as you can see here, as I was showing you, if you look at my mix section there, you can see right down there toward the bottom, right where my belly button is, there's a bulge that's there, and that comes with age too. As we lose testosterone, those things bulge out, but we can still control it with diet and healthy choices in our lives. So I will be implementing that so we can, so I can actually reduce that in that area as well. Okay. And further with the, upward dog. And as you can see here, if you look at my hips, and how close they are to the ground, they're not that close. All right. So I got tightness in my hips here. Real bad, and probably my abdominal. So my hip flexors are really tight, and so that's why I look like it's hurting. All right. Okay. So now this is where. So before I even get to this point where I'm actually doing my workout, I actually went for a 10-minute run on a treadmill, which I was not able to get pictures of because of the way the gym is laid out. It just doesn't allow me to, I would have had to set my phone or my camera up in the alleyway, blocking people. So I didn't want to do that. And you can see the treadmills over there to my, actually you can see a reflection of them over there to my left, your right. All right. So this picture here was leg extensions. So, and the reason why I'm starting off with legs, here's another thing about hypertension. What I'm trying to do is call more blood down to the lower part, to my lower. So the muscles in the legs are the largest group of muscles in the body. Okay, and they require a lot of blood. And so when you start to work them by doing squats, leg extensions, leg curls, and so forth, you call a lot of blood down there, and you can actually reduce your blood pressure by doing that as well. And so because there's a transfer of blood from the upper body to the lower body on that. All right. So here I am now doing, after I had done leg curls, I also did some leg press here. And I actually progressed in my weight, in the amount of weight. So really, by the time I did my last set, it was weights all the way out to the edge of that bar, and I'm glad I'm still strong enough to do that. All right, and this is me doing some lunges, some reverse lunges, calling more blood to the legs, but also. This is also going to activate glutes, the gluteals. So those are 30-pound kettlebells in my hand at that point. And so just this right here actually does a whole bunch for recruiting the muscle fibers in the legs. All right. All right. Now let's talk about what it looks like after my workout. All right. Because this is This is the big deal right here. So what you're looking at here, this is the chart. So the whole time I had on a chest strap that was taking my heart rate. Okay, so and that heart rate was also tracking my calorie burn, as well as, let me see if I can pull this up so I can make sure. So my heart rate, my calorie burn, and timing me in my workout. All right. So what you're looking at there. Oh, make sure we're looking at. Oh, that's not the one. Okay. So what you're looking at there is my post workout, and this is. So as you can see, I worked out for an hour and 44 seconds, 637 calories. And this is only the weight training. This does not count the treadmill, because on a treadmill, I burnt an additional 57 calories. So I was over 700 calories, basically. Well, probably about, 700, almost 800 calories in that total workout. And that's not counting when I was doing my warm up, the foam rolling and the yoga and everything. There was some extra calories burned then, but this right here. So overall, I created a deficit of close to 800 calories with this workout, and you can see that my max heart rate was about 166 beats per minute. Now, for a person my age, that's in the cardio zone. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what that looks like too. So look down at that graph, at that line graph at the bottom, and you can see how the intensity increased as I went along. Okay, so it started out light, so my heart rate was low, then it increased. All right, now here you're going to see more of the same. So you get it maps out, it tracked the zones that I was in as well. And these zones, maximum zone, as you can see, I spent a little time in that, not too much. Most of my time was spent in the aerobic and weight control zones. And that's where you want to be in order to initiate fat loss. And that's all you need to be. The anaerobic is going to be just before you go into the aerobic zone. Which is, so you can see that my max heart rate of 166 was in that maximum zone. Okay, it was in that maximum zone. So, and this is going to differ for everybody based on your age, based on your heart rate, your resting heart rate, and so forth. And so just don't try to keep up with mine. Just know that when I was younger, my heart rate was always in the 180s and 190s. Okay, when I was younger, so I had a higher heart rate during my workouts, and I had a lot. That means I had a lot more. So that's another sign that even as we grow, our metabolic rate slows down, and so does our heart rate and our tolerance for maximum output as well. All right. So there's nothing we can do about that. It's just a cycle of life. You just do the best you can, as you live. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to share those things with you guys, and, and make sure that we, just to give you an update on what I've been doing, how I was doing, and everything. Why is my camera I have this AI camera that it tracks me. I keep forgetting how to turn it off. Let me see. Nope, just the other one turned on. Okay. Well, anyway, I wanted to give you guys an update on that. And so again, I appreciate all of the encouragement and everything. I'm still working on it. Today, my blood pressure was 152/92. All right, 152 of that, and that's because I'm using again this portable. I'm not even sure if that thing is calibrated correctly. So, but again, I don't feel. I feel good, but that they call hypertension the silent killer, don't they? It's a silent killer. So another thing I'll be working on is getting my LDL. So these are my goals, everybody. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna let you go. My goals are losing weight, so I got to get my weight down to 190 or less. That's my plan. Okay, if that's possible. To lower my LDL cholesterol. Okay, and and no caffeine. I'm not going back to caffeine, and also have a calorically controlled diet. So control the calories. So that means this lowering my cholesterol means in my diet there is going to be no dairy, no butter, no milk, no. I'm not even going to do yogurt, none of that. So there's no dairy, there's no fat, no animal fat. Only fats I'm going to have in my diet is going to be fat from like avocados, fat from oils, omega-3. Essential oils like flax seeds, as well as olive oil, things like that, sunflower oil, and I'll be taking in more of the seeds and nuts, which actually have what they call mono and poly unsaturated fats. Those actually can take down the LDL cholesterol as well. So I'll be eating more nuts and seeds into my diet, in order to do that. Flax seeds will become a part of my diet. So those are my goals, and that's what I'm doing to to reduce everything. And I've got to make some progress because this doctor told me when I come back in a month, and that's why I'm tracking my blood pressure every day. And she's not gonna like what she sees if this keeps up. But she wants to throw me on some medicine. But we're gonna and again, I'm open to it if I have to. But I have some things that I'm gonna have to implement that I know. I'm gonna implement those to try to avoid being thrown on medicine. So I got a lot of things. Hibiscus tea is real good for lowering blood pressure. I actually have a natural supplement that I'll be actually using, and it has nitric oxide, compounds for nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide actually is a vasodilator, and so it's made of 3 amino acids that come together to make nitric oxide, and it dilates your blood vessels, make them bigger, so that cuts down on the pressure as well. That could be an issue. But for the most part, I want to make sure that I'm not dealing with two major things. Okay, so another suspect, atherosclerosis, which is the arterial walls on the inside are being narrowed because of elevated cholesterol. So being that my total cholesterol is not elevated, it's not too much of a concern. But I just want to make sure that I do it. So by lowering my LDL, I can assure that I can eliminate that speculation by all costs. And also atherosclerosis. Arterial sclerosis, and that's the hardening of the arteries. And I'm pretty sure my arteries are very flexible, so I'm not worried about that right now. There are some things that can lead to that, but I'm not in any danger of my arteries hardening. So those two things, those are some other things that also can increase blood pressure. I'm not stressed. I'm a very, very chill guy. Everybody who knows me know that I am very calm and peaceful. I don't stress. I don't get too excited or nothing like that. It's because of my meditation routine, and also through my qigong practices, I'll be incorporating herbs and targeting that particular system that controls my blood pressure as well through traditional Chinese herbs. I'll be updating you guys and letting you guys know what that is in in the videos to come. Okay, so thank you for bearing with me. I know this is kind of long, but I wanted to make sure I gave you guys an update. Hopefully something I said helped. Something I said helped. If you're here on this channel, and I should have said this in the beginning, but go ahead and like and subscribe on this, because I'll be mostly doing these videos on my YouTube channel here. All right. And if you have anybody, if you guys know me on Facebook, if you're one of my Facebook friends, or even if you're here, leave some encouragement and some guidance, words of guidance and wise words in my comment section. But also send me messages if there's anything, because I am a coach, and I have coached many people, hundreds, if not thousands of people, to improve their health, and get rid of things like hypertension, get rid of diabetes and things. These things are actually specific to the person. That's why you don't see me out here, even though I know this stuff, but I don't give generalized information, because that generalized information, what works for one person can probably won't work for another, but not only that, it could kill somebody else. So I work with people by knowing them personally and getting to know what they're dealing with personally. So everything that I tell people, every bit of information I give people is customized. Other than that, I think that what we need to do as professionals is teach people what it looks like to find out and to assess yourself, so you can find out what's best for you. We shouldn't be trying to tell people what's best for them. We should be only showing people how to probe and to find out what's best for you, because that's what you can't miss like that. All right. So if you need any of that advice, I'm also open for, clients and coaching. But in the meantime, thank you all for bearing with me. I really appreciate you. And until next time, everybody, hetepu, and that is my words for sending out expanded peace and love to you all. All right, Nebu. Peace.